doesn't mention his redemption, but absolves him of his sin.
Welcome back, episode 104 of Revisited, and after a couple of weeks, we didn't give you Mark. Even though people were asking for it Saturday, we're not giving you Mark, but we are giving you a return to some form of favorite. We are talking about Mother Basement. It's been literally, I think the last time we talked about him might have been
viewer request month or something.
Yeah, maybe 2 viewer request months ago.
We done did it. Most of it is out the way, and it's not too much else that we can do.
But we're doing this one, and this one is the Redemption of Bakugo. Description, boys?
I don't understand the Naruto in the thumbnail. That's confusing me.
I would assume it's the lack of redemption for someone like Sasuke, I guess. But then why wouldn't you put Sasuke in there?
How Bakugo went from being My Hero's second worst character to, in quotation, arguably its best. Could Mineta be next?
No.
That's very funny.
No.
We've made our thoughts about Bakugo clear. It's not gotten any better. I'm happy that he is not around, but he's going to have a big moment when he finally does
come back.
But
yes.
He's just there, dust flying all around, open chest. It's fine.
Infections, all that stuff.
No
doesn't
sterilization, nothing. Doesn't matter.
The blood pumping in him may not be the same blood.
Corey don't care, and that's the biggest problem. Because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm just like, now wait a second. This dude he's going. He's the hottest.
To be.
This month is the hottest thing that can ever be hot. Mm-hmm. And he's just burning and burning and burning. How is there ice anywhere? How is there ice forming? Because it's the
coldest ice that could possibly be formed.
The dumbest. It's so stupid.
Yeah, because the ice would have to be, magnitudes colder than the fire in order to not melt
on his burning body. So it's for that moment.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to think about that should be melted. You can't.
That's not how physics work. That's not how science works.
But it's just...
even dry ice melts. Absolute zero ice
so
melts.
So hot that it's burning Endeavor, who has heat resistance. But here's this ice that's just chilling here. It's dumb. And that's why it's just Hori going... He probably had 2 or 3 things that he wanted to add upon that, but it's just there's no time. There's
time. I just don't want to do it.
No, there's no time. He set that date of just it's coming to an end, and he's got to end it.
By chapter blank, this is over, and I'm getting very close to that chapter.
And that's just what it is.
And we've also made our thoughts clear about Mother's Basement. He's not a good content creator.
We've also made our thoughts about Naruto quite clear. So, do we really need to do this video?
Do we need to do any videos?
Yeah. Stuff that we haven't talked about yet.
That number is dwindling by the video.
Sure. We haven't done Man of Steel at all.
Yes, we did.
Did we?
Yeah. Remember the 3 things you need to construct the story or whatever? Yeah, you were like, I'd rather watch CP than this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's all you needed to say.
That's the part I remember.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so we've done Man of Steel.
I don't remember it at all. Wait. I think I remember some of it. Doesn't matter. No, that was Batman vs. Superman. Doesn't matter.
No, that was Man of Steel.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, you're thinking
you didn't even know what I was talking about.
I thought you were talking about that video we were talking about just now. Yeah, no, we did Man of Steel.
I'm not going to fight it.
We haven't done Cats.
Which we need to do. Just for the meme at all.
We haven't done Comey.
We haven't done Comey.
Yeah. Okay, Comey has been done on our channel. I don't know how much more that we've both watched, consumed, whatever, that we've done. Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, we've done it. And it's got to be something that enough people love that we hate, or enough people hate that we love.
That's also a big thing. We got that list. There's that Shuckmeister Part 6 video. We haven't talked about Part 6.
But we talked about JoJo's. Yes, we have. We did everything.
No, we did not talk about Part 6.
Oh, I guess we didn't talk about Part 6. Yeah, let's just get into the video.
It would be very difficult for any anime character to make a worse first impression than Katsuki Bakugo. He's introduced as a belligerent, unapologetic, borderline sadistic bully who takes joy in beating up on those weaker than him. The first thing we ever see him do is brag about how great he is and berate his entire class, especially Deku, for thinking they can even compare to him. And the second thing he does...
When you do that screenshot of those quirks in that classroom, it's kind of understandable
that he would be like, yo, y'all are the hot garbage.
None of y'all making it to UA. Eyeball dude, clothespin mouth person.
I don't know if y'all make it, period. Screw UA. So, how are you alive, eyeball girl?
Destroy Deku's property and tell him to kill himself. He's reprehensible, arrogant, mean-spirited, and he's my favorite character in the series. And with the second fight with Deku
And I've never... Back when we used to be really, really into My Hero, Mike was the fan of Bakugo.
Yes.
And I've never asked him why.
That's a good point.
Because I
wonder if he would remember at this point.
Dang. That would have been important information that could...
I know Kelly's still a big fan of Bakugo, but I don't know if she's big into My Hero anymore.
Kelly's Kelly. She's got too much love in her heart to be like, no, that's trash.
I don't know. That cat turned her. We made her a little bit more comfortable on that one.
Objectively trash, though. And I can say that with fools to fight me. All right? All right.
An objectively trash movie that you love like almost nothing else.
Having finally been animated, I can at last explain why. Also, that fight...
Why can you do it while it was still manga? Oh, screw these anime onlys. Say what you want to say. Go, hey, it's manga only, people. Come back when it's animated.
Yeah. Or if you don't care about spoilers, here you go.
But it's the people, it just came out, so now I can talk about this thing. The script is probably already written and mostly edited, and now he could just put the current episodes into it.
If I wanted to also be generous, it could be that the editor is not that good at manga editing.
All you gotta do is cut out a panel.
That could also be a thing.
It's cutting out.
They may be more comfortable with anime. That could.
Yeah, because you could just plop it down and let them do the thing.
Indeed.
Means that my What's in an OP for the new arc is officially spoiler safe, so if you've been waiting to watch that, now's the time.
Okay, so you're fine with doing the OP because it's got spoilers in it, because it's animated, but you're not cool with... Why wouldn't you wait till all the scenes in the OP are animated before you do that? If you're so worried about people getting spoiled about things. It's truly just, it just came out, let me do this.
That was very weird, because the what's in the OP is, this is a reference to this, and this character is this thing. So he doesn't care, don't care about spoilers over here, but care about spoilers over here.
Yeah, it's the weirdest.
Obviously, I didn't always have this opinion. When My Hero Academia first started, I hated Bakugo's guts, and I thought that he was one of the weakest characters in the story. But as the show and the manga...
I wouldn't say that he's one of the weakest characters, because he has a character. Somebody like Tail Dude, somebody like Tape Guy. What are their personalities?
Even things like Mina or Invisible Girl. Like, what are they? Who are they?
So I wouldn't say weak. No.
Even Todoroki was super weak of a character before we got his backstory of my father.
On exploring his character in greater depth and allowing him to grow along the way, I've come to absolutely love him. And I'm not alone. In Shonen Jump's annual
I am so tired of people just pointing to the popularity polls and going, hey, others agree. Hey, a lot of people like this character. I don't care. But tell me why he's good.
It's a good metric to be like, people do like him.
Okay.
I would rather this than just
People
going.
always like the top people.
But I'd rather this than just going. People love Mineta and then just moving on. It's like
Nobody
people love
would
Mineta.
say that. That's a lie.
That is just a character that's just like
Okay, but I'm sure there are people that love Mineta, and if you give me 3 screenshots, it's no different than showing me 2,000 votes.
It would need to be proven.
That is something that needs to be proven.
And this is
the love of Bakugo does not need to be proven.
I would always err on the side of proof other than not proof.
But my whole point is, I don't care how much a person likes them when you're talking about the redemption of Bakugo.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, why are you talking about your personal thing?
That's a whole different thing. This dude is, people like Bakugo. Okay, cool. Moving on.
It doesn't have anything to do with your video.
Popularity polls, he shot up through the rankings to first place, taking votes away
from third place.
Really
That's not a shot up. You went from bronze to gold. Wow. 3,000 votes when he was in first place.
He shot up polls. He
got an extra 1,300 votes.
Yeah.
Shot up through the rankings to first place.
Deku lost 100. Everybody gained.
As more readers come, number go up.
Taking votes away from Deku and Todoroki.
I'm sorry?
Up through the rank, he up and jumps.
Todoroki was at 1,900, Deku was at 2,300.
Annual popularity polls, he shot up through the rankings.
Deku is at 2,200, Todoroki is basically at 1,800. 100 votes? Where did the other 1,100 come from? Mother's basement? And I'm sure some of the Bakugo ones were converted over to Deku or Todoroki.
Yeah. That the other way it's not always just like, no, this is 100% I'm always on Bakugo's team.
The first place, taking votes away from Deku and Todoroki in the second poll, the one that gave us that delightful fantasy AU from the third ED, and pulling in almost twice as many votes as his rivals, who were nearly tied in the third. It's no mean feat to take a character that much of your audience straight up despises and make him the standout favorite.
How does most of the audience despise it if he was third place from the very first popularity poll?
And that's kind of... Yeah, that's not...
That makes no sense. Do you understand that?
You're using your experience of not liking him and then just going, most people didn't like him. That's not really true.
That's legitimately not true based on the evidence you yourself presented.
And how do you do it? By giving them an arc. A believable arc that starts them at a piece of 0 and takes them over to a 7 out of 10. They're working to get better. They showcase something as opposed to a Mina or a Mineta or a Tape Guy or a Sugar Rush where they're just there. Todoroki, he got that development.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Kaminari was doing in the second popularity poll, but he's always hovering over the Bakugo, so I'm sure that's the
part of it. We're bringing you in as a bro.
So, how did Kohei Horikoshi go about redeeming this irredeemable bastard?
How is he irredeemable? Because irredeemability means you cannot be redeemed. And the fact that he was redeemed speaks to him not being irredeemable. Even though that's just a semantics argument. But him being a piece of garbage in the very beginning speaks nothing to his irredeemability. Because Vegeta was redeemed.
Characters can change. Character can grow. They're not going to be as stagnant if that is what it is. Because somebody like Amina is.
And Taguro was redeemed.
So it's like, oh, how did he redeem this character? By writing them in a way.
How did he redeem a bully that told somebody to kill themselves? By being a sad boy deep down and showing it.
Insecure boy. Yeah, that's it. And then they did it. And then people went, oh, I like that. Pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't really require too much thought. They're a piece of crap, and now they're less of a piece of crap.
And then, even in real life, people are like, oh, bullies are just people that have been bullied at home. They're taking out their insecurities and their fears on other people. So this is just pen to paper about what people already believe bullies are.
3 things that you need to do to properly redeem a bad guy in your story. Establish that he has a good side in the first place, demonstrate why, from his point of view, his past bad actions seemed reasonable, and make...
Yes, telling someone to kill themselves. How did he show that was...
Yeah, that didn't happen. I don't care if he was praised and all that. I don't care. That doesn't excuse that. At all. 0%.
him want to be better. The key to how Hiroaka does this lies...
He want to be better?
He's still just Bakugo.
Does
He's
he
just a softer version of himself.
Sorry, I know I'm abrasive. I know I'm loud. Does he do that?
I don't know if
Does he
he's ever
think that's the
apologized
flaw?
in that way.
Because in the Endeavor Todoroki Bakugo Deku thing, he's just yelling at bystanders.
There is a true, you can see Endeavor wanting to be better. He's gonna isolate himself from his family so they can be a family. He wants to take on the burden of failing his sons, that type of thing.
He wants
Even
to
him,
be a number one hero and
there's the kid that's just like this isn't you, Endeavor, you suck now. Because I like the big boisterous, but Bakugo never had that. I gotta be softer.
Yeah,
he's just Bakugo.
I guess the closest thing that you can point to is the kid stuff. But
he walked up to a kid and said, "Yeah, you think you're the boss, but you ain't hot."
But that's not a willingness to change. That's not him going. You don't see him like go to yell at somebody and then sort of pull back. You don't see him like taking somebody off to the side and apologize. I don't think that there's a willingness to change. I don't think that he sees anything wrong with
his actions, the way he is.
In its use of perspective. Throughout the...
I'm sorry, what about perspective?
Past bad actions seemed reasonable and make him want to be better. The key to how Hiroaka does this lies in its use of perspective.
That was certainly a sentence.
What perspective?
Certainly a sentence.
I don't know what this perspective is.
Throughout the story, we see Bakugo mostly as others see him. Belligerent, short-tempered, condescending, aggressive, basically a nuisance at the best of times and a bully at the worst. He's considerably more abrasive than even your average shonen rival, who tend to be either brash and stubborn but good-natured, or quiet, brooding, cool types. And when you lay out his character traits on paper, it becomes clear why that is. Bakugo is proud and confident and wants everyone in a 3-block radius to know it. He's 100% sure of his own abilities, and with good reason, since despite his shortcomings, he has both incredible natural power and a remarkable mind that lets him take full advantage of it. He's driven to overcome those he sees as...
I don't understand how he could think that his abilities are so great when it's kind of very close range before he got his gauntlets.
Mm-hmm.
He started doing the flying
you've already
thing.
said that in his class, those are the ones he gets to interact with the most. And you got a girl that just kind of has hair. I mean, yeah, I can blow things up with my sweat.
But again, surely there's gotta be just some local, homegrown, just like, oh, this guy can shoot really good lasers out of his eyes. And then Bakugo's like, well, he's long range. He has a heat-based quirk like me.
I mean, Bakugo got done up by the first villain he's encountered, from what we know.
It's just the whole fact of, I don't believe that, based upon 80% of the world having quirks, that he's never encountered somebody with a quirk that he perceives as better than him. His friend, I understand his friend had dumb bat wings.
But somebody had in telekinesis or something in his classroom. That seems like some power.
Could be low-level telekinesis. Like Deku's mom, who she's just like, I could just float small things. Or did she just not apply herself and can she actually float bigger things?
Yeah.
But she's just lazy.
Or does she have like a small magnetic field and the small thing she's doing is like paper clips and stuff? Who knows?
rivals and hungry for any opportunity he can find to prove that he's the best. His overbearing personality pushes others away from him, leaving him with few friends, but he's got a strange magnetism to him, and those who—
No, he does not. Kirishima just bulldozed his way into his heart.
I don't remember somebody like a Mino or Mineta going, ugh, Bakugo, shut up, he's so loud. There hasn't been really any interactions between them to make them go, oh, this character is this and I don't want to hang out with them. We don't really see people hanging out within the class instead of outside of like big groups of just like, oh, the girls
Let's
are
go
together,
to
or
the
the guys
mall.
are together, or everybody's together. We don't see a Jiro just break off with Bird Dude and they're having a conversation, or they're just hanging out around the campus or whatever. So it's not
Just them, just 2 or 3 people in their dorms just hanging out. So this whole magnetism thing, it's so much less magnetism as their classmates and this one guy wants to be his friend.
like, what does Kirishima see in Bakugo that makes them friends?
Kirishima clearly likes high-heads. Because he really liked Tetsu Tetsu.
So they're more rivals.
Yeah, but he liked them. He clearly likes that abrasiveness type of thing. So that's the only thing I can see of him like gravitating towards Bakugo. But I don't see like a Uraraka just like, hey, I want to hang out with Bakugo. I am strangely into Bakugo. I don't see anybody doing that. So this magnetism thing, what are you talking about?
The Wikipedia page. Kirishima and Bakugo have a mutual friendship. They are often seen together during class, and despite Bakugo's aggressive behavior, it's indicated that the two of them are friends. Kirishima has described Bakugo as being manly, a quality that Kirishima is known to favor. Is that it?
So instead of the hot-headedness, it was manly.
Before getting to know each other, it suggested that Kirishima did not admire Bakugo as seen in the battle trials. It's suggested again, and it's indicated. It's a lot of just in flowery whatever languages.
To just say, we don't know.
Kirishima openly criticized Bakugo's fighting tactics as unmanly. This manly, unmanly thing.
Yeah, we already know who your favorite character from Fairy Tail was.
I completely forgot about that. What else is there?
That's what a man would do.
This is just them going, oh, here's all the things that they did. We know.
But do you know?
Due to his upbeat behavior, Kirishima is often unfazed by Bakugo's abrasive behaviors. When Bakugo's divisive attitude arises to subdue it, blah, blah, blah. Yes, is it just the manly thing?
It would appear so. Whatever his idea of a man is.
Yeah, I don't understand the friendship here. And who else is there?
And who else is there? That's the crazy part. He's got this strange magnetism to him. Who's he attracting?
who do stick with him become loyal, diehard comrades.
He showed up Kirishima twice. He got nothing.
All the classmates are diehard loyal to each other. Mm-hmm. This means zero to me.
From what we've seen.
So, he's overconfident, loudmouthed, energetic, passionate about fighting and winning, obsessed with his rivals, and deep down, more than anything, he wants to be the best like no one ever was. Bakugo isn't a typical rival character. He was forged from the mold of a stock shonen protagonist. To be
What?
So
a character does not just slot into the role of shonen protag and we take that mold and just turn it over slightly to the side character. Characters are just characters.
Yes. What is a shonen protagonist?
Because they're so different from each other. Like people are, like characters are.
Yugi doesn't really care about like rivalries and stuff like that.
None!
And then we gotta talk about the people like the JoJos who don't want to be the best.
What is this?
He was forged from the mold of a stock shonen protagonist. To be clear, Bakugo isn't the first rival character to fit this mold by a long shot. Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z exists as essentially a dark mirror of the pride, ambition, and thirst for a good fight that drives Goku.
Is that a typical shonen protag, and is that the mold they're done from?
Yeah. You going off to another thing.
The best you can say is Bakugo is a dark mirror of Deku's ambition to be a great hero.
I don't want to think that hard into it.
No, I'm just going by what his... But other than that, what is this stock shonen protag that Bakugo broke off from like Vegeta and Kaiba did? He's basically just saying they're deuteragonists.
Yeah. Just say that.
But the shonen battle genre has evolved substantially since Dragon Ball codified it, and
This is not a battle shonen. It is Avatar, The Last Airbender, an American cartoon. What are you doing?
Inspired by anime.
Bakugo's characterization is able to account for those 35 years of development in DBZ derivatives. Specifically, he's clearly based on Naruto, who's in...
Oh, thank you for answering the question, Mother's Basement.
Mayhaps we should have just let him cook.
I was wondering, and then is he clearly inspired by Naruto? Loud, blonde hair, wants to be the best.
Naruto doesn't want to be the best. He just wants to be Hokage. The Hokage doesn't
It's
even
shorthand.
necessarily...
It's shorthand. He's the strongest in the village. He has a rival that he feels inferior to.
I don't know if Naruto felt inferior to Sasuke as much as just you Sasuke.
He did.
But no, the point was that Naruto was inferior to Sasuke.
Yes. That
Bakugo is not inferior to Deku.
That's different. Don't argue against the hypothetical, Mother's Basement.
You know what? You've got a great point.
in his blonde, spiky puffball.
Jesus! Come on now! Blonde, spiky hair!
That's unbelievable. I guess they're both mirrored after Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who had blonde, spiky hair.
Muff can't be blonde and spiky without Muff going, hey, look, it's how many character designs are there?
Especially in the shonen space where a lot of the protagonists are blank, spiky hair.
In his blonde, spiky puffball hair, his propensity for shouting like a jackass.
Asta?
Asta was also inspired by Naruto. That would be the Mother's Basement argument. So if he had not been shouting and just
Or if
been
his
a
hair was
quiet
black.
person, no, let's keep it blonde.
Okay.
And not shouting. He'd be like, he's clearly a mix of Naruto and Sasuke, imbuing their best traits. Something like that, it can always be equated.
Yes. Because there's been so many things that's come before a thing that you could pluck anything you want out of one thing and put it on another thing.
Just because Kirishima and what is his name in Fairy Tail?
Gray.
Manly Man. Elfman.
Elfman. Okay.
Just because those two
I wouldn't have gotten it. I was in the essence.
Whenever I get stuck on a character, I'll see a letter in my mind, and I'll just go,
That's what I do. And that's why I'm stuck on S, because I'm like, S?
I'm like, it began with an E, because I was like, Lizana, Elfman, and Mary Jane, I called them Lim when I was making my little script for my
Fairy Tail.
yeah. So it's just sort of like I pulled the E, and I was just like, But just because they share the trait of favoring manliness, does that mean that he was inspired by
No,
Elfman?
because the designs aren't the same.
They both have spiky hair.
But they're not redhead.
Does he have spiky hair?
Yes, Elfman does. have
Okay,
spiky hair.
because I just sort of
And planted that.
forgot. Because every time I see him, I legitimately just roll my eyes, so I don't really see him. So yeah, spiky hair, favoring manliness. Their body transforms in some way. They've saved a female character within their series that they treasure. You can make these connections. Does that mean that he's now inspired by Elfman? It's dummy like that.
Like a jackass, and his name, which is 3 syllables long and contains the same vowel sounds.
Holy crap.
Is this the earliest preemptive Hall of Fame? Cause this is insanity.
He was just like, I need 3 things to connect them.
This isn't even like Japanese characters share the same. This is the Romanji version of their names. And it's like, oh, they clearly share some. I hope that he ends this with, this is clearly a joke. But there are some actual things he takes from Naruto. Because I think he said it was a clear parallel between them or clear inspiration between them.
Bakugo's name, it contains the kanji for explosion. So
That makes sense.
yes, a lot of the people.
Yeah, of course.
So maybe he was going with that before going Naruto, before going 3 syllables. I need 3 syllables. I need similar vowels. Come on now!
We're Wheel of Fortune in this.
This is insane!
Order. It's not a perfect conversion of the shonen hero archetype. He doesn't really seem to care about the power of friendship, and he's
Then how is he from the mold? It sounds like he's his own character, as characters tend to be.
And there are traits that are shared amongst characters within this genre.
Or
Be they-
any genre.
Be they hero, villain, side character, whatever. There are certain traits.
not an underdog at all, but on a fundamental level, Bakugo is driven by the same motivations. The reason he's not sympathetic, like Naruto, is that we can see him from outside his own head. From the perspective of, say, the townspeople whose days are ruined by him running around putting graffiti on things, or the classmates whose schoolwork is thrown off by him acting like a jackass. People who just see an ill-tempered, misbehaving kid, not the ambitious hero underneath.
As opposed to us who have already seen Bakugo tell somebody to kill themselves. Naruto, at best, at worst you could say, is a scamp.
There is no ambitious hero to see underneath because he doesn't have that ambition in the beginning. He simply wants to be the leader of the village to get acknowledged. There's no heroism. There's no altruism. There's none of that. That comes later. And once it comes, people stop looking at him like a piece of even though they don't look at him like a piece of past like third chapter. Nobody wants to talk about that.
No. He stole the Forbidden Scroll and it's just like, oh,
He gotta die. He gotta die. He gave it back though, and now he's a Genin. The fox? We're gonna teach him stuff so that we're gonna teach him our secrets that he may destroy us from within? How about I, Choji's father, the leader of Akamichi clan, just sit on him and kill him now?
No.
You're forbidden. As the Hokage, I forbid you from doing that.
What do you do, sir? I see you on that crystal ball a lot. What is your day like? 'Cause we're out there.
It's Naruto is so bad. Because apparently there's a whole lot of Sarutobi clan members out there. They were in the war.
Doing what?
They were doing like fire jutsus and crap.
But
like that.
for what purpose do we even need them?
Now that creates a whole lot of more problems because the argument is just like, hey, he couldn't take Naruto on because he's the Hokage. He got so much responsibility. Okay, so he got a whole clan. He can't just go, I'm the Hokage. I am an elder statesman. I'm the strongest month. Y'all respect me. Can't you respect me enough to take this child? No? Woof you.
Or bring somebody from his clan into the village to look after the child.
Just do anything other than literally nothing.
Konohamaru is your grandchild. Where are your children and his wife or her husband? Are they both dead?
I think there was a filler about them or something. It don't matter.
It do matter. That's the point.
This isn't a Naruto video.
Who am I looking at?
It's not a Naruto video. This is for the comparison's sake.
There is no comparison.
Spiky hair, spiky blonde hair, syllables,
It's not even spiked the same.
syllables,
It's
same
not
order of
same
the
spike.
syllables.
It's not. I don't know how
yelling.
they're the same. Everybody yells.
Does Naruto yell a lot?
No.
Not necessarily. He yells a fair bit, but it's not like I wouldn't say if I was describing Naruto that he's loud as one of the first like 5 things. Whatever, doesn't matter.
And because he's not the protagonist, in fact he makes the protagonist's life hell, we're not inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that there's more to him. To be honest...
What? Why would we?
There is nothing else to this character because they're not the protagonist. How do people listen to this man's arguments?
What?
Uncritically. Unflinchingly. It has to be background noise. It just has to be.
Legitimately. He showed off Kaiba, and it's just like, yeah, he's a piece of but he has one thing that he loves, and that's his little brother, and he'll do whatever he can for that little brother because they've been together for all their life, and he's been protecting them.
He showed off Vegeta, who took an arc and a half, maybe even 2.5 arcs before you were like, okay, there might be more to Vegeta than just this angry, I'ma kill everybody guy.
He showed off Sasuke. There's stuff behind that. It ain't good, but there's stuff behind. What is he? We gotta pull it back. What is he considered to be a protagonist?
Did he even explain what a shonen protagonist mold is? Just that Bakugo is cut from it.
I guess the traits that he mentioned about having a rival and...
Not all shonen protags have rivals.
Yeah, I know.
Luffy does not have a rival.
I know.
Yusuke does not have a rival.
I know. But this is what he's saying. And so he's built this upon the shonen thing is the rival and the whatever else he said.
Are Deku and Bakugo rivals?
I would say so. They're both fighting for the same goal. Not perpendicular. Parallel to each other.
Are they?
Yeah.
No. Huh? Deku has no want to be the number 1 hero.
I was just about to say that. I'm sure he's expressed it.
You can't be sure of that.
I'm sure. I don't remember their fight, but I'm sure there was a big clash of I'll be the number 1 hero. Oh, no, I will, or something like that.
You can't say I'm sure. I refuse
It would be reasonable
to assume.
Yes.
Do you truly believe that happened?
I don't remember.
No, that's not what I asked you. I didn't ask, did that happen? I asked if you believe that happened.
My mind is clouded by
That's not, you're not
stuff.
saying the yes or the no there.
I looked up Deku number 1 hero, and I hate the designs that people give him.
Is
Because
it Luffy
all
Gear 5-esque? Wait, hold on, can I say that? Why does he have sunglasses?
This is so lame. I hate this.
It's not even like the style that his stupid hood was. I'm going to say he has yet to express the want to be the number one hero.
Can you say that with confidence as you asked me?
Yes, I can say that with confidence.
Well, that's fine too.
I can't say it for certainty, but I can say it with confidence.
Well, correct him in the comments, people. Because you ain't correcting me, because I cucked out.
He was one of my biggest complaints about the first season of My Hero. He seemed like nothing but a one-note, cliched bully. But it's that exact...
In the first season, point to any of the characters that wasn't Deku, and how are they not one note?
Yeah, Uraraka.
She's the love interest.
Ida.
Stuffy class representative. Spunky girl is Mina. Pervert is Mineta. Boy.
Zero exists.
He exists. Tail guy exists. Sugar Rush exists.
The most you can give is someone like Suyu. She had some stuff to her in the first season. Grand opening, grand closing. I'm looking up season 1. Season 1 ends with...
It ends with the All Might versus Nemu.
Nomu. Yep, that is correct.
So it's like, it is short.
Yeah, so like, what was there to anybody but All Might and Deku and the teacher. Eraserhead. I was trying to think of his actual name. Beyond that, what does anybody express beyond what they are?
I don't see how you can go into a show just going, oh, this character is this character forever and they're never going to develop, so I hate
Because
them.
of 13 episodes. They will never change.
They're not the protagonist, so they're not going to change, so let me just
Even though I have countless examples of characters changing like Kaiba.
They're changing? Wait, didn't he cry in that first one where he was just like, I won't let you beat me after the practice thing?
Did the practice thing happen in the first season?
Yeah. It happened early. That was like the second thing that they did.
This scene is from the first season!
Yeah, that's crying.
So there's clearly more to him!
Yeah. But there's no more to him.
I even agreed that I was too rash and all of that.
Yeah, but there's no more to him.
He's already showing more.
There's nothing else.
I thought this was season 2.
No. No, this is chapter 11, sir.
What is he talking about?
This is like episode 4.
Episode 8, I'm looking at it now. After losing against Midoriya in the mock battle. Aizawa. That's what I was looking for. Okay then.
Complaints about the first season of My Hero. He seemed like nothing but a one-note, cliched bully. But
as he's crying with his head down, walking away sadly.
Disappointed that he lost. What's cliche about him?
What is one note about him? Yo, Mother's Basement sucks.
He has to
suck.
No. He has to bring him down to the base level to be like, look how much he changed from that one note cliche villain.
How much has Bakugo changed from this point?
We got the... when did this video come out? I was about to say, we got the whole big apology to Deku.
This is post season 3 then.
And this is 2018 this came out.
This had to be post season 3 because the Bakugo Deku fight was post the rescue of Bakugo, which was post the tournament. And the tournament was season 2. So this has to be season 3. So we're talking like 50 chapters or so.
In the manga, this is around the time with the joint training arc battle thing. That's in the manga. So there wasn't. It's chapter like 210-ish.
It's that exact complaint that gives him the potential to really surprise us.
No, you were surprised because you went, unlike the characters I've seen countless times changing from the one-note character they seemed like in the very beginning,
Bakugo.
This one will not have it happen.
He's definitely not gonna change.
It happened again?
I'm so surprised. That is nuts to think that. There's nothing gonna happen with this character. He's just gonna be the bully, and then Deku's gonna punch him, and then he's gonna fly into the sky and then never be seen again.
Hey, not everything and everybody is amazing. Sometimes you can just go, we've seen this type of thing before, but I think it's good. Mm-hmm. As opposed to going, this is allowed it to surprise us because we expect it. Your channel is anime.
You know these things. You mentioned the characters before. Why would you think that this character is just gonna be this character forever?
Forever!
I don't understand that. There's no precedent for that. He's one of the first mother that we see. What did you think his story was gonna culminate to?
An early grave?
Just never forgive. It's just in flash tops and stuff. I'm just like, no. I'm just a bully, and I've always been a bully, and then I just go away forever.
He became Venom, and he was in the arc.
We're not talking about that.
Most people watching the show, that surprise finally landed.
Who is most people? Where's the evidence, DA? Oh, I can prove the things I can prove, but the other stuff, just believe me, dog.
Season when Bakugo was kidnapped by the League of Villains. It's a scenario that...
The first chapter after he got saved, look at that sort of pensive, contemplative look on his face. This is not a one-note villain. I mean, a one-note bully.
Anyone familiar with shonen manga tropes will immediately connect with the Sasuke retrieval arc from Naruto, which creates a pretty obvious expectation. This is the moment where Bakugo, like Sasuke before him, will pay off the foreshadowing established by his prior mistakes and make the transition from established rival to full-on major antagonist.
So like a character from a different show, as opposed to the characters from a different show that didn't go down the dark path. Like a Yuno. Even though that's post.
And it's a good moment. But thinking about it,
I love the moment.
It's not really... Because what evilness has he shown at all?
He told the guy to kill himself.
That's not evil, though. That's not... His whole thing is wanting to be a hero. Mm-hmm. Why would he turn over to the villains? It's not like he... Even if we go, it's a lust for power. Yeah. What strength have they shown?
Yeah.
They got rocked up by a bunch of kids.
Held back at worst.
So what strength are you gonna provide me? Yes, you captured me, but... I mean, what does it matter? I got ambushed.
As like half of the people you came with got captured.
So yes, it's the good moment of, yes, I'm outnumbered, but still, y'all. But... when you think about it,
that's like, Jolene. That happened with Jolene. I can't give evidence of anything.
Bakugo was inspired by Jolene. Don't you know that? But yeah, that's just what I'm saying. It's just, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you think about it for a second and just going. He
what
never
was
really
the option to turn to the dark side there? Like Luke. Why would Luke turn to the dark side?
Rival to full-on major antagonist.
Because if you look at...
what rival has become a full-on antagonist?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's fine. They're out there.
full-on major antagonist. Except that never happens. Shigaraki offers to let him join them, even playing on his base desire to win at all costs, but Bakugo doesn't bite. He bites back, attacking the villains the very second he gets an opportunity and adamantly declaring that the only way he wants to win is by winning like All Might. This is a truly heroic moment. Bakugo is keeping his ideals, Sorei.
What does he mean?
No, that's
winning
not.
like All
Keeping
Might?
your ideals is not heroic. Because if your ideals are a race of people should be eradicated, keeping them is not heroic. He clearly doesn't want to save people like All Might.
Yeah, what does he mean like All Might? Other than just... It wasn't even saving people. It was winning like All Might. And what does it mean to win like All Might? I guess just beating them up. But why would you not do that with the League of Villains? It's going down. That moment's going down. I don't know. Because it's just... He's taken so little of the actual All Might stuff other than just the strength and being number one.
Yes, it would make 1,000% more sense if he was into Endeavor. 1,000% more sense.
But he sees All Might just saving people, helping them,
Smile on his
beating people
face.
up, strong, absolutely. But he just goes, the nice stuff, the making people comfortable, the saving people stuff. I'll save them, but I'll also insult them and just go, run away, stupid.
Stupid!
And fighting for them, even though it puts him in
Fighting for who?
a truly heroic moment. Bakugo is keeping his ideals, Sorei, and fighting for them, even though it puts him in harm's way. For me,
Again, how's that different from a villain's ideals if they keep fighting for him, even if it puts him in harm's way? Why is this a heroic moment?
reading the manga, this single moment did so much to turn around my opinion of Bakugo as a character and to improve.
Oh, he's not going to be a Sasuke. He's going to stay on the good team. And now I've gone from a 2 to a 5 for Bakugo.
Again,
to a 7 to Bakugo.
Just thinking about it, Sasuke, he had I've seen what Oro can do.
I've seen what Itachi's done.
This curse mark that he gave me strength. So if he can just bite me and give me this unbelievable strength, what else can he do if I go train with him? That's understandable with the lust for power. There's no
Because his
reason.
whole point of being strong is for vengeance. So he just needs power no matter what.
Yes.
Bakugo does not need power no matter what, from what we see early on.
Because his goal stated to All Might himself in like chapter 10 or 11 when he was crying was, I'm going to surpass you as the #1 hero. How would he do that? By being a villain. He wouldn't. So there's no precedent to think that he would go to the villain side. I think the good moment is he's unstrapped and he's fighting them even though he's outnumbered. The All Might stuff is already, that's just like that is hurt by the things around it.
Yes.
But the outnumbered fighting is good. Not even like I'm going to pretend to be on their side. It's like, no, I'm fighting y'all now.
My opinion of the series' story as a whole. Hero
What?
single moment did so much to turn around my opinion of Bakugo as a character and to improve my opinion of the series' story as a whole.
Because you were looking at Bakugo as just a story of Naruto that's about to happen.
Hiroaka has never been shy about toying with the tropes laid out by its shonen forebears.
Toying with the tropes, subverting the tropes.
Do you think that they go into the story writing it going bully trope in
Subvert.
love interest trope? Or do they just go
Reverse.
This is a character that I want to write that has been done before? What is a character that hasn't been done 100 times before? What makes something a trope? Is it being done enough times over enough the span of time? What is it? Because you point to anything, and I can point to you 3 or 4 things that does the same or similar things. So is that a trope? Enough with this trope crap. Talk about what is.
Yeah, what is the trope?
I hate it.
Dude, it's one of the worst arguments. Tropes subverting themes.
But here is the moment where it becomes crystal clear that it's fully aware of the cliches and willing to subvert them if it...
We never left.
We never...
It's always in the chamber.
I don't care about... You're not even subverting tropes, because how many of these things happen in these stories that you can point to? Because I'm sure you can point to just as many things where it doesn't happen or the opposite happens.
We got Sasuke. We got, I guess, Vegeta, where he turns Majin.
No! I would not count that.
It was a lust for power, so he goes over to the evil side.
And then sacrifices himself 7 chapters later!
It's fine. He did the thing, though. But we got
He
those
knew
two.
people could be wished back with Dragon Balls. Whatever!
We got those two. And that's enough for a trope, really, when you think about it.
What about the people that haven't turned to the dark side?
What about him?
Luke didn't turn to the dark side. That's from the 80s.
He did not. He subverted that trope.
What?
Or that is the beginning of the trope, and then other people subverted that.
Why did it take The Last Jedi for subversion to come so heavily into the mind frame of the populace?
Because we have to talk about why it's good, and the only way that we can talk about it that it's good is to talk about how it subverted stuff. You heard Mike when he talked about it. He went straight to everything that you thought that was going to happen. He turned it right on his head. Who's Snoke? Nobody. Why, though? That doesn't make any sense.
Is that
But
good?
it's for the sake of that subversion. That
It's
he's
for the
nobody.
sake of the surprise.
Yes.
It's like a horror movie that is a bunch of jump scares. There are going to be people that walked out like, it was so scary. No, you weren't scared. You were startled.
It's good in the moment of just going, holy crap, Snoke was nobody. He's dead now. But then when you think about it for a second, you go, well, if he's so strong, how did he get in that position anyway? Where was he for all this time? Why was he so scarred up like that? And then it breaks. But in that moment, it is, holy crap. It's
People, we just did a revisited on the stream where people just try to recapture the moments. So if they feel that moment, it's just, that's what sticks in my mind, the moment. Mm-hmm. Not the discussion, not the things around the moment, just the moment.
And then you just think about it and just go, oh no, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
But do you ever think about it?
Yes.
I think a lot of people
look
don't.
at all those rants that I went on Naruto.
No, you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, do people...
The royal you.
Yes.
People, yeah, I think they come to minor understandings. Because their eyes get opened up and just go, they have to have a lesser version of what we had where we just went, I'm watching more stuff. Mm-hmm. So the stuff that I watched before is less because the good stuff is doing this stuff, but better. Why is this stuff not doing this?
See, I can't agree with this strictly because, and I'm just talking about The Last Jedi on this one. You have to be at least 2 Star Wars in to want to go see, at least one in to want to go see mm-hmm. The Last Jedi. I can understand if you're a 15-year-old and this is just your first Star Wars. But a lot of these people are the 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds, and them. I would assume at that point they've consumed enough to know better.
But it's also in the moment. And in the moment, it takes a lot. It hurts a lot in the moment.
Snyder.
I mean, in-game... in the moment, we were like, yeah, but looking past, it's like, in the moment,
No Way Home,
like, a multiverse of madness. You gave it a 7,
yeah.
And then you were like, I was just like, it's pretty good.
And then
it's like,
But again, like you said, in the moment. But there are still people arguing for Snyder films. There are still people arguing for The Last Jedi. Those are the ones I'm talking about. Why not? Why is subversion enough for a Last Jedi fan?
You would have to ask them.
Some 3, 4, 5, 6 years later.
Because it's not the thing that I thought I was going to get. And now it's something
different. But that's not good enough. That's just like the Godzilla movie not being good enough. Because, it's the peaks of Godzilla and then you're going to see them.
Isn't it?
No.
These are both Mike arguments that he has made.
Yeah, and I argued against them.
Yep. And what was his argument back? Well, that is Godzilla movies.
No, it's not. It's not even Godzilla movies, really.
It is.
I remember that argument because I was just like, it's fine if that's Godzilla movies, but why can't the human stuff be better? It was never good.
So it can never be good. Writing just doesn't exist in the Godzilla. Once you start trying to write a Godzilla human, your pen just flies away.
Trope.
You have a bucket of tropes. And it's just a fridge. You got a bunch of magnets. You throw this on and you just go, scientist lady. I guess we got a scientist lady now.
Family drama.
Okay then. Evil scientist. Sure. 2 scientists? Okay.
It's the Family Guy balls. The manatee balls.
For a more powerful story beat. What's real about toying with the tropes laid out by its shonen forebears, but here is the moment where it becomes crystal clear that it's fully aware of the cliches and willing to subvert them if it will make for a more powerful story beat. What's really great about this moment is that it doesn't suddenly undo the things that made Bakugo so despicable in the first place. In fact, it shows how his stubborn, shit-talking, belligerent attitude can be a positive thing when pointed in the right direction. Admittedly, his aim even after this is pretty scattershot, but we can see that his image of what a hero should be isn't totally misguided.
No, it is.
It is. His idea of what a hero is strong. Not the saving people, not even like the money or the prestige. It's really just strong.
In fact, you could say maybe the 4 main characters all embody the different aspects of what society wants a hero to be. Because Deku's about the saving people, Bakugo's about the strength, Uraraka's about the money, Todoroki, prestige, lineage, I guess. Or his father's about the prestige, and I guess he's trying to subvert it. But no, then he says, I'm gonna do it my own way. No, Ida. Ida can be about the prestige. Shrug shoulders. I guess I'm a YouTuber.
Workshopping.
Yeah.
And that single realization turns everything about this character on its head.
No, it doesn't. He's still a piece of crap.
Yep.
He's always been a piece of crap.
Basically the same thing now. He has his ideals and he's sticking with his ideals. How is that making him a completely different character? Just because we have the tropes of things like a Sasuke.
We really turned it on his head when he told Deku to kill himself. That was flipped on his head now. Now he's actually telling him to go save himself. Your life matters. You should love yourself now. Low tier God. So it was the kill yourself now rant, but they went in a positive direction, and it's awesome.
Because as soon as we realize how much of Bakugo's self-image is tied up in being a hero, we can start seeing him through that lens and relate his behavior to heroes we know.
Kill yourself. I am the greatest hero. Mm-hmm. You all suck. I am the greatest hero.
Stop getting better than me. I'm better than y'all.
I am the greatest hero.
Again, just ask yourself, Mother's Basement, what does it mean for Bakugo to be a hero? That should be the number one. You're going about all this stuff. You need to ask that point blank period. And what does it mean simply to be strong?
Namely, Naruto. And I think...
Oh.
Stop the Naruto argument.
Oh.
Don't worry about what we doing, Chris.
I just heard a bunch of My Hero talk and I have to walk away.
Yes, you do. Because it sucks. And Mother's Basement sucks.
It's pretty bad.
Is this like an old video or?
Yeah, it's 2018.
Oh, was it the Naruto and how?
Wow, you know this video.
Yeah.
It's a famous video. Everybody knows this video.
I had never heard of this video.
Yeah, was something. It was the peak of My Hero, where people like, yeah, My Hero is the greatest show ever.
It's got 1 million views.
Disgusting.
You've seen it.
This is a terrible video.
I remember you guys. I think Ralph or
Mike, maybe.
it probably Ralph or Mike. I think it was Ralph who would talk about the video.
I wasn't. Because I don't watch me? I don't watch positive crap with stuff that I like. I wasn't watching this bullshit.
Anyway, yeah, it's My Hero. The best thing My Hero surprised me with at the war arc, and with the Mr. Compress thing, where he revealed he was the grandson of
Some guy!
No, it was the third greatest villain ever. It was like the great thief or something who used to steal.
I am the grandson of a guy that you've never heard of.
But was really awesome.
No, because they revealed it in the Gentle arc, and Gentle like going down the list of like all the great villains, and then like something Destro, All for One.
So they just named somebody and then just go, oh, don't you remember when we said this name back here? Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that's exactly how that.
That's not good enough. That's not a thing.
Listen,
I don't care.
Let me finish.
Who remembers that?
You don't remember the guy's name.
That guy.
It was really.
You saw Reddit about that post. You didn't remember that. Somebody told you that. You weren't in that moment.
You were in a
reading
Discord
that,
or
just
something.
going like, oh, that is the guy from back there. You didn't come to that conclusion.
No, I was just remembering. I'm like,
No, you didn't.
Chris, you don't remember him now.
who, Mr. Compress?
No, not compressed. The
villain?
whoever the grand.
No, I don't remember that villain at all.
But you remember that Ingeno brought him up.
I remember, yeah, Jim brought him up, and then anyway, the war arc was terrible.
Y'all know the Terror arc. Miracle was awesome.
I think it just after that, then
Legitimately after that, it's a wrap.
it's a wrap. 'Cause I'm like, I cannot remember anything from My Hero after that. I know Bakugo got stabbed, Lemillion came back, and then the Dobby reveal.
Gran Torino should have died because he got stabbed in the chest when he was on the ground.
No, they're just gonna cut back to me. He's just gonna be dead, and then we're like, oh no, and then we're gonna move on because he ain't got time.
Did he guys? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, no, he was on the ground.
I
Then
do
went
not.
kaplow.
I legit don't remember that.
Good on you, because it pissed me off. Because he
Well,
should
at
not
that
be
point,
alive.
The Bakugo should be dead too.
Yeah,
He got stabbed.
yeah.
So maybe the inconsistency in My Hero is always inconsistent. So if it's always inconsistent,
It's consistently inconsistent. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is that what? Get out, Chris. Get out, Chris.
All Might, Brave, Crimson Riot. From the Vigilante era until now, there's been individuals whose radiance shone so bright that it left permanent marks on their history called heroes. The legendary ruler, All for One. The legendary supremacy hero of the Liberation Army, Destro. The peerless thief, Harima Oji. The other side were labeled as criminals. You telling me you remembered this? Come on, Chris. You lying. You were wiki diving and you went, oh, he did mention that.
No,
You didn't remember that.
Remember that.
You don't remember it. You ain't remember his name. Come on now.
How do I remember his name?
But you remember okay, so you would have to have remember his name in order to remember that he was brought up before.
Yeah, I told you he was a thief. That's all I remember.
There's no is that the only thief that's been mentioned
that has
in all?
read the Gentle arc no less than 5 times. I do not remember that.
That is not the only thief that has been brought up in the series.
I do not remember that
What
panel.
has been brought up?
Gentle.
There has been other thieves, and even if there
Name one.
even if there hasn't been other thieves, you name the guy.
Harima Ojo.
Yeah, because I
It wasn't Ojiro. Ojiro's the tail dude. It's OG.
Oji. What?
You just went thief. He mentioned that's not what happened. You wiki dive just like I did.
I did not
You were
wiki
bored one day.
I will never go on that wiki. I'll show you wiki diving.
This subconscious connection accounts for a lot of the intensely positive response that he's gotten following this moment, as reflected by the second pull, which came out shortly after this arc in the manga. The show builds on this in some really great ways leading into Bakugo's second fight with Deku, but the positive impression that it leaves also makes it really fun to rewatch what's come before and reevaluate Kacchan's past actions, since this isn't the first time that Bakugo has proven himself to be better than you'd give him credit for if you're paying attention.
So you just weren't paying attention. And now you're shocked because you weren't paying attention.
How did the Bakugo beating Deku mean that he's better than we gave him credit for, when if he went all out, he could punch his head off?
I assume he means a better person than we gave him credit for.
But in what way?
He just saved Deku or something.
The tournament arc, when everyone else is essentially coddling Uraraka, Bakugo...
That's her name. Don't say that it's not. We know it.
He waited for the anime to come out. Mm-hmm. He's spoken about watching the series.
And they say Urarara.
Does he write his own scripts?
Irrelevant. We have to question if he's watched the series. If he said Urarara.
I have never heard that name spoken like that. I can't think of how.
Who was coddling Urarara? In what way was she coddled, Mother's Basement? Because I don't remember people coddling Urarara.
Deku tried to help. And she was like, no thanks.
I think Deku was just like, let's be on the same team. And she was like, I can't rely on you.
No, this is post that. Because she asked to be on his team. And then he was like, here's some notes I have on Bakugo. And she was like, no, because I was ashamed that I relied on you so much. I want to do this on my own.
No, but didn't that happen in the horsey battle?
What?
Where she was like, I can't rely on you? Or was she on the same team?
That was this. Yes, she was on the same team. Because remember, he was asking everybody and everybody turned away. And she was like, I'll be on your team. And he started crying.
Oh,
and then right before this, they were in the back. And she was like, yeah. I relied on you during that battle. And now I want to do this on my own. Yeah.
So who was coddling Urarara?
Stop saying
that's her name.
First off, he said Uraraka, not Urarara.
Urarara is funnier. Let's hear it again.
The tournament arc, when everyone else is essentially coddling Uraraka,
Uraraka, not Urarara is better.
The most you could say is everyone was, people were concerned about her upcoming battle with Bakugo.
Mm-hmm. Which is understandable.
Bakugo gives their fight his all and openly says that she's not as fragile as her friends seem to think she is. While he's aggressive and cocky, he always shows respect for the strength of his opponents, possibly something he learned after his first narrow loss to Deku in training. And while his anger at Todoroki after the tournament is a little extreme,
it's not extreme. He wanted Todoroki to go out like he did with Deku so he could prove he was the best. Because his thing is being the best. And this is not proof that he is the best because Todoroki held back. And it's also a problem because it makes it look like Todoroki didn't need to hold back for Deku, but needed to for Bakugo. Did he watch the series? Did he write this script?
From the same place. He knows Todoroki is strong, respects him as a rival, and he's angry to not be shown the same respect back, to not have a chance to prove his strength in a fair fight.
He tells Urarara to withdraw, otherwise she's gonna get hurt.
Oh, so he didn't really respect her. Get out of here, girl, before I put the hands to you. I've done it before. Did he watch the series?
That's a good question.
Dial his response back from this literally psychotic extreme, it would be understandable, even admirable. But then that's kind of always been Bakugo's biggest failing. For all his raw power and fighting ability, for all his intelligence when it comes to analyzing other people's quirks and strategies, he kinda sucks at people. He has a lot of difficulty both in expressing himself and understanding others, except notably when it comes to picking apart their fighting techniques, and his main
But
tool
why? He's been around people all of his life.
But those people have always just admired him and kowtowed to his own whims.
I can't imagine all of them did. Because he's
Who didn't?
abrasive and stuff. He talks about the magnetism that he has towards them, but we only have Kirishima, his bat friend, his other friend, who I don't even remember his quirk.
I mean, when it comes to bullies, most people kowtow to them. They just avoid them or stand behind them.
But we don't see that.
No, we don't.
We saw that with his two lackeys
Mm-hmm.
and Kirishima.
But that's, again, this is pure assumption on my part.
Yeah, I know, but that's not enough.
It's reasonable to assume.
But that's not what he said. He said that he's abrasive, but he has a magnet.
What he said, because he objectively sucks.
We have to go by. This is the argument that he's making, though.
I'm making a whole different argument.
I can't revisit you.
with that is getting mad. To be clear, that's not a good coping strategy, and it doesn't justify the way that he treats others, but it does make him a lot more three-dimensional and a bit more understandable.
Everything that further fleshes out a character makes them more three-dimensional. That is not a thing to praise. If someone is eating and goes, I don't like meat, that makes them a little bit more three-dimensional. I don't eat pork. Right there. Does that mean they're a good character now? Because they're a little bit more three-dimensional. Should we praise that we know they don't eat pork? Or is it just a thing we learn in a story that helps flesh out a character?
Simply learning that he uses anger as a coping mechanism does nothing.
This guy sucks.
He's saying what, basically just kind of like what just needs to be heard. And he's just saying the easy thing that needs to be heard. And people just go, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they move on.
Yes, he sucks.
It's just inoffensive. It's marshmallow. It's
You just
cotton
said what I
candy.
said, but longer.
No,
The guy sucks.
Well, we gotta give a little more spice to that, all right?
No.
We can't just say he sucks. Let's explain why he sucks.
Why should we cook a meal for a guy that sucks at cooking?
Because he doesn't suck in the same way as a Cosmo sucks.
Yes, no.
He doesn't suck in the same way as a Triggered sucks.
Yes,
So
no.
we need to explain his brand of suck.
But people should be able to discern his brand of suck by us constantly going against him in this very video and others.
Have they?
No, I don't mean
wider.
the general people. I'm talking about the people that are here.
Absolutely. I'm just saying. It always hurt. It's always better to explain yourself, like I said before.
Sometimes you just need a succinct, he sucks.
And I'll admit, as someone who had anger issues and difficulty socializing,
Relatable. Bakugo just like me.
Ding.
This is just every YouTuber we've ever explored. They are all the same.
It seems like
Suck.
he's
cut from the shonen mold.
He's the top and they all branched off from him. He's the top of the family tree where you just go, and then it branched off. It's kind of like nostalgic, and it's kind of like the nostalgia critic in Angry Video Game Nerds, where they just go, and then you got Phaelus, and then you got
And
this
DSP
person, and then you got
over
this
here.
person. And it just sort of branches off. It's like, here is the simplest nothing anime take that you could possibly do. Hey, I could do something a little bit better or different from that. Branch off.
He is the Dragon Ball of anime analysts.
when I was younger, it gives me a bit of a soft spot for him, even though my experience with bullies has kind of the opposite effect. When it comes to Deku, Bakugo's awful behavior is also rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding of our hero's intent, but one a bit more specific than his general failure to get other people.
I don't think it was a misunderstanding of his intent. I think it was you are a weak person. How dare you try to help me?
Because it's very difficult to misunderstand his intent for some 10 years, almost daily, that you're seeing and speaking with this person. I think that's very difficult.
I don't want to get too armchair psychologist here, but Bakugo's obsession with proving his own superiority over others is a hallmark of a classic inferiority complex. Deep down, Bakugo is terrified at the possibility that he might not live up to the expectations placed on him by others and himself for...
How many times have we seen this video?
Once or twice.
having such a strong quirk. To
I
cope
don't
with...
understand how it has to be. I need to be the number one.
You can be a number 3.
Is Ed shot like, I'm pissed that I'm not the number one?
Bakugo loves Best Genius. Man, it's number 4 or 6 or whatever.
It's fine to have a sizable following, a good amount of just being a good hero and doing your thing. You don't need to be the number one, especially considering when you look at it like the number one hero. We got 2 number 1 heroes that we can look at. We got All Might, who can punch a typhoon and he can punch it in a tornado forms. And then we got Endeavor, who can reach in levels of heat near the sun.
This isn't even like a high school kid is just like, oh, this is the next Michael Jordan. This isn't even like people were like Bakugo, the next All Might. It was just, you've got a strong quirk. This would be like a basketball player just going, oh, people expect things of me? They must expect me to be the next Michael Jordan.
The number one.
The best player in history
I've
now.
got a really good quirk, and that means I need to be number one. Hey, that guy has wings that he can control feathers and they make them do whatever he wants. He's got like 50 to 100 of them. So that's 50 to 100 things that he can do all at the same time. And you got explosions. You need equipment to make it a little bit better. How do you fast travel, Bakugo? What was your thought about fast traveling before you got them gauntlets? Now you can poof poof fly, but even that, if you use it too much, your hands start shaking. So, what was your thought before then? How do you get to a crime scene fast? How does Endeavor do it? Oh, he can fly with his fire. How does Hawks do it, the number 2? Oh, he can fly. How does All Might do it? Oh, he can jump really high and really far. How do you be a number 1 hero if you can't get to a scene really fast? That's the stuff we need to think about. What does he think being the number 1 hero means other than just being the strongest? I hate this.
Even admitting the possibility of failure or being too weak, he projects all of his feelings of inferiority onto the quirkless Deku. When Deku shows signs of not knowing his place, it threatens Bakugo's self-image, so he interprets any attempt on Deku's part.
We have to sit
And this is flipped on his head because of what happened later?
You know it. But we have to just go. Bullies, they never have a single shred of introspection of just like, is this right? How is this guy feeling with my bullying? We just have to say that in order to be like, yep, Bakugo just does this. And this is just the bully thing to do. I do not believe that such a nice person for some however 8 years, and he's just constantly acting like this. I don't believe that Bakugo would still act like that. I don't believe that Deku would still at least try to be friendly with him. One of these things have to just break off.
To help him out or become a hero as a personal insult. hence all the bullying. And naturally, because so much of his self-image is tied up in this idea of an inherently lesser Deku, when he finds out that Deku has a quirk, he thinks he was just hiding it to fuck with him, which, coupled with coming to a school where many of the students are just straight up better than him, only makes him madder. Again, none of this excuses how Bakugo treats Deku, but it does explain it. It demonstrates that he's
Okay, what's that mean to me?
Yeah. We can explain why murderers murder people.
A lot of people that abuse others were abused as kids. Does that excuse their abuse?
It explains
It explains it,
absolutely.
but why should I give a
It's good for a let me watch a YouTube true crime thing, but I'm not going, yeah, Son of Sam.
You could be a good person.
Get in there, Joel Guy Jr. He was a monster.
Should we clap for Chris Brown? Because he hasn't beat somebody in like 6 years.
And then he did.
And then we're skipping the ones that he did recently.
Just like a month ago.
Yeah, we're skipping the ones he did recently where he
Usher.
stomped out Usher.
What the
We're skipping all that.
Usher's like the least confrontational month available. What scandal has he gotten into? What negative thing have you heard about
I
Usher?
think one of the biggest scandals was that he like fat kicks.
Is he divorced or anything? He seems like the type of dude that's like got it with a girl in his 20s and still with her, like a Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is just like, oh, this chick is ride or die, same chick forever.
Oh, what were we saying?
Is it excusable?
Excusable. Yeah. So should we excuse the Chris Breezy barring recent things? Because he hasn't beat somebody in 6 years and because he witnessed a lot of abuse as a child? Or should we also go, hey, you're still a piece of though?
not just an asshole for no reason. And
Who is?
Yeah.
I can't think of a single person in life and stories that is simply a douchebag to be a douchebag.
that if he can understand his own shortcomings and misunderstandings and work to his strengths, he can become a better person. All he really needs is a moment of clarity and the will to do it. And his fight with
If
Deku...
you work towards your strengths and not against your weaknesses, are you a better person? You're just min-maxing at that point.
Yeah.
You're going, I'm not the nicest person, but I am abrasive, so I just gotta work towards that strength?
I am confident, but I'm not nice. So I'm not going to worry about being nicer. I'm just going to worry about being more confident.
No.
Yes?
Exactly that. Now, there's a lot in this fight to break down, and I'll probably touch on it in greater depth in a future Animele because I'm really impressed with how Bones took the layouts from the
Can I also say,
Animation ding.
I really don't like his names. His series names.
It's fine.
Animele sucks. As a man who once wanted us to be, we make Naruto AMV.
Literally, the one there like 2 months ago, somebody was just like, a list exists. What list are y'all making? Mm-hmm. So, you know, the same could be said.
No, but there was we were supposed to be this.
Well, we ain't no more.
We're not. But it's still I like the name.
The second video was not a list. Danganronpa, and then it went to Dragon Ball Super.
Sure. We're listing things we don't like about Dragon Ball Super.
Is that enough?
We're listing the problems of these YouTubers.
Is that enough?
Does it exist?
Does it exist? Was that the
Is it a
intention?
list?
Was
Is
that
it a list?
Was
Is
that
it a
the
list?
intention?
Are we
Was
listing
that
things?
the intention
Are
of
we
the
listing
channel
things?
name?
Are we listing
We
things?
can't just retcon this.
Are we
Was
listing
that
things?
the intention?
Are we listing things?
Everything is listing things. He's
All
listing
right.
the things that
So
are good
all
about Bakugo.
All lists exist.
Absolutely,
So
but that
no matter
wasn't
what,
the intention.
a list
The intention
will
of the
exist.
channel was a listing stuff, not listing stuff.
I don't see the difference, sir.
Clearly you don't, because you're whatever, you're right. You're technically right, which is, as we discussed, the best way to be right.
impressed with how Bones took the layouts from the manga, which were already incredible, and translated them into animation, but this fight reveals a few really important steps in Bakugo's character arc. First off, he confesses that he's been racked with guilt over the fact that All Might was forced into retirement because of him. In his eyes, this happened because he was weak, and he's wrong. It happened because Shigaraki misjudged him. It's not his fault, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is that for the first time in the entire series, Bakugo is showing real vulnerability and opening up to another person, Deku no less, even if it is by lashing out.
Absolutely. But this is just development. His mindset is incorrect because he just goes, "It's my fault that he can't be here anymore." No, he was on his way out anyway. The flame was dying out. Yeah. But this way, at least we got rid of this Satan
the
man.
monster.
So yeah, sure. I guess you shortened it down from the 6 months that he had left. Absolutely.
Highlights something vital to understanding Bakugo. Deep down, under all his bravado and aggressive behavior, he's just a socially inept little kid who has no idea what he's doing.
He never tries to get out of that. He never tries to reach out. Instead of just going, "Woof you, Deku," he doesn't go, "Why are you always so nice to me? Why do you hang on around me? Why do you try? What do you like about me? What's something that you like about me? What's a positive trait?"
Like Ippo saying what he liked about Kumi.
He is a simple boy. He's a stupid simple
He
boy.
likes all those things about me. So it's just about appearance. I got you.
Him taking off the weights. I don't know why, but it's just like, this is serious mode. He's so lame. He's nothing. He is a dry towel that's just trying to, like, let me get some water out of it. It's like, homie, that came right out the dryer. There's nothing here.
It's right off the rack on Walmart. There's no reason for moisture there.
It's like, what's the thing that you like?
10, 9, time's up. You gotta give him more time than that.
What's my favorite animal? He just goes at pandas and birds. He's like, no, this has gotta be it. Cats.
Why the heck? She's so mad at him. Why the because you remind me of a cat.
Oh, but you do play with Waffle all the time. Yeah. So maybe
it's such a good who gives a chapter.
But like
it even opens amazing. It's just like doing her. Like
what were we talking about?
What do you like about me?
Yeah. He never tries to grow out of that. He's that socially inept person. But you gotta have that moment of introspection of, dang, I am this, and I can either continue to be this, or I can try to be something different. And he doesn't have that moment of, I'm gonna be trying to be something different. He has that, hey, you can't be a piece of all the time, kid. But then he turns around and be a piece of and there's no moment of him going, I need to stop this. I'm pushing people away.
It's not even a moment of people just going, Bakugo, you are a jerk.
Why are you yelling at me? No, that's just the way Bakugo is.
Nobody challenges his personality.
But Mineta gets challenged. He gets called the pervert. But when he rocks up and going, my hero name is King Explosion Murder, they're just like, Bakugo, look at him go.
Little kid who has no idea what he's doing. A kid who is rightfully scared and confused after a traumatic ordeal, and who feels responsible for what it costs to save him.
So he has thoughts. He's not just some blank slate. Big and whoop.
He has insecurities and fears about himself and things he doesn't like about
himself. I
himself.
should hope so, because he's a character. He is an important character. I can't say he's a character because Tape Guy is a character, but he got nothing.
You just remember the name.
I remember his name, but he doesn't deserve to be named. That's the show don't care about him.
Is he even in the war?
I'm sure he is.
I don't remember Zero doing, and I mean this with all my heart, literally anything.
I'm pretty sure he was in a big crowd shot of this.
Was he trying to rally? I'm not rally, but wrangle the people that were running away? Maybe trying to just be like, "Hey, come over here."
Oh no, the final war. It's 2 paragraphs. Eradicating village into cages, push them all over Japan. Hanta. Who's Hanta? Is he Hanta?
I guess it's Hanta Zero.
Alongside a couple of other people, are sent to some stadium to battle a group of villains. They eventually receive word that Shoto defeated Dabi, causing the latter two to comment on Shoto's behalf while Hanta looks on. Whatever, doesn't matter. Chapter 353. So yes, he is in the war and he's doing something. He's fighting villains. Look at him go. Oh no. Ooh. That's 353. Oh no. That is like 40 chapters ago. Ooh.
He ain't doing shit.
Where is he? Where's our boy? Uh-oh.
This is a Where's Waldo of Where's Zero?
Sir, where are you? I must have missed him. It's fine.
What was his name?
Zero.
No. The other name.
That may not have been Hanta.
Okay.
Hanta might have been somebody else. Is that him? No, that's somebody else with just tape-like powers.
He ain't even got that. There's nobody else like Mina.
It's fine. Is
what,
it here?
What coalescence of quirks happened to create Mina?
Goo and acid.
Why is she pink or / purple?
She's a mutant.
So one of the parents was. Why wasn't she ostracized in the city?
You can just have a mutation, but also have a quirk.
Why wasn't she ostracized in the city?
Cute girl with Auga Bazungas.
But she's a monster. More than face mouth, man. Shoji.
She is she's acceptable because she's
what?
What is she other than she's got a weird skin tone. She doesn't.
But Spinner isn't acceptable.
He's a lizardman.
She's an alien one. An alien Woms versus a lizardman.
But she got shapely hips. She got the bobs.
She's 15.
Cut that. Cut it. Oh, hey, look, Bakugo. We're back.
Feels responsible for what it costs to save him. Lots of, heck, I'd say most kids are shitty. Being decent is something they have to be taught, and Bakugo has an opportunity to be taught that now. In service of that lesson...
Was he ever taught that? To be decent?
She's 16. I don't think...
I don't know why you think that makes it better.
Doesn't make it worse.
In some ways it does, because 16 is legal in a lot of America.
Sure. And that makes it better.
No, it makes it a little worse.
Nope.
Because now you feel like you can look.
It's okay now.
Yeah.
No, it's technically okay. And as we talked about, that's the best kind of okay.
So in some ways, it is absolutely worse.
A little better, a little worse. It's a seesaw, you know.
No, because when it's 15, you're going, oh no, I shouldn't be doing this. And now,
and 16 is like,
like,
I shouldn't be doing this, but it's okay to do it.
But I am legally allowed to do this.
In certain states. I don't think that I was 16 years old when I went, hey, maybe stop being was I a piece of
No. I don't think any of us were. Any of the kids were.
Yeah, you got your bullies and you got people just going, oh, hey, that kid stank. But other than that, like, Whatever. He's made a claim and he just got that claim. It's fine.
That now. In service of that lesson, realizing that Deku was chosen as All Might's successor means Bakugo is faced with a difficult truth. Deku has something that was recognized by the person they both admire most, that Bakugo just doesn't. And though
Yes, he's a good person. He showed his heroism. You did not.
You suck.
We can't just narrow it down to he sucks. We've talked about this. You've had your performance review. But yeah, he showcased that even without the ability to do something, you still have the willingness to do something. Because you're a good person. That's what he has. There's nothing else besides that. Don't think about it way too further.
This Bakugo in Deku's situation would not have saved Deku. This Bakugo without a quirk. Like if his inferiority complex came from his quirklessness, would not have saved
He would not
bully
have jumped
Deku.
in.
And that's what Deku had.
way of figuring out what that is, kicking the crap out of each other, isn't exactly mature, the fact that he can acknowledge that he's lacking anything at all is in itself a huge step for him.
He said that the girl was right when they said that he just rushed in like an idiot. He recognized he had a lack of thinking because he was short-sighted.
I don't think that it's a believable thing to think that a character is a holy percent, think that they're perfect. I don't think that Bakugo thinks that because he knows that he's not the number one in the class. So they have something that I don't. And what is that?
And the question that he's asking is fundamental to both his and Deku's character growth. Is the vision of All Might that he aspires to emulate, the hero who always wins, in some way wrong?
Yes!
Yes, that's not what All Might is.
That's not what All Might stands for. Deku doesn't have to look at anything because he sees what he is, and that's what All Might is.
All Might is a good person that helps people who happens to be the strongest. He has the ability to help people, and he does. That's always like the second or third thing, is helping people by being the strongest, not being the strongest so you can help people.
If Endeavor was technically stronger, but All Might saved more people, so he's more presentable, so he's the number one, Deku would still admire the things that you should admire about All Might. Again, I see, except the big one next to his hero rank, I don't see any reason that Bakugo gravitated towards All Might over Endeavor.
Is it just that? Would he like him if he was the number two? And not even like Endeavor was the number one. What is he like about All Might? Is it just the title?
The title of number one and the strength that comes with it.
So it's not even the person. It's just this monolithic title of being the best. Anybody in that position could have done that.
A long story short, yes, but so is Deku's image of a hero who saves everyone no matter what.
How? Let's just hear it.
Self-sacrificing, break all my limbs but lose a little less than the other guy model of heroics might cost other people less than Bakugo's, but it's equally flawed. What both Deku...
How?
It's flawed in him killing himself. But his whole thing is, I need to protect people.
Yes.
And I don't have the ability to protect people.
If he could run away, I'm sure he would have ran away in that moment. In fact, I think he tried to run away, and Muscle didn't allow it. That's not the issue with him. I cannot run away with this kid, but I have to protect this kid, so I will go as far as I possibly can to protect this kid.
The whole self-sacrificing no matter what, that speaks more to the villain arc. Not the villain arc, the vigilante arc. But that had not come out yet. So, yeah, it's whatever. It's fine.
and Bakugo take away from this fight, with All Might's help, is that they both need to learn from each other if they want to grow up to be like their hero. And the funny thing is, just because Bakugo doesn't have One For All, that doesn't mean that he can't carry on All Might's legacy. In the fight with All For One, All Might effectively gave up his powers in order to secure Bakugo's future as a hero. The same symbolic gesture
To save a person.
Yes, that is the whole thing.
It could have been a quirkless little kid, and he would have saved the person. It wasn't because he saw that Bakugo could be because if it was Mineta, it would have been the same.
It's not simply for his Bakugo. We gotta look at it like this. It's like if there was two fork in a road. Left side is people trapped under the building. Two people trapped under a building. Right side is two people being held hostage by a person that you gotta punch. Deku would go to the people. Bakugo would go to the hostage situation. And it's gotta be like, why would he go to the hostage? It's about the fight and saving people. It's like, if I save people, that's fine, that's whatever. But it's about being the strongest. And Deku is, I need to help people.
That he made in passing One For All down to Deku, effectively marking Bakugo as a worthy successor to his legacy in the process. And by bringing him in on his and Deku's secret, All Might essentially confirms him in that role and gives him something tangible to live up to. He's got a long way to go to be the hero that he needs and wants to be, but the very next day we can see him inching in the right direction, holding a polite but terse conversation with Deku for the first time in years. Bakugo's still not...
It's irrelevant if it's with Deku. It needs to be with everyone. And he's not closer to that. Surely it would be...
Has he even expressed friendship to Kirishima at this point?
It would be easier to express the kindness to everybody else instead of with Deku, because he's ashamed of treating him like that for all of his life. I gotta work towards that. But him just being like, having a polite conversation with Deku, that doesn't really mean anything. It's not really a change. It's just him. It's a smaller change than it could be.
Person, and he still needs to make up for telling Deku to kill himself, but that's exactly what makes him a great character. He's a flawed person trying to be better, and he comes by both his bad traits.
Hey,
he's not trying to be better.
A flawed person trying to be better does not make a person a great character. Because almost every character is trying to become better in some way, shape, or form.
He's not trying to become better. He's trying to become better to Deku.
Yes. He's not trying to become a better person.
He's just trying to be nicer to Deku.
He's trying to make up to Deku.
And his good ones naturally. While I'm sure some people out there can relate to him, I think the real reason that Hiroaka fans love Bakugo so much is that he has a fascinating, organic character arc that takes advantage of...
What is an inorganic character arc?
There's a good example. You didn't watch RWBY.
No.
This last season of RWBY. Yeah, it's she basically kills herself, goes into tree heaven. Don't worry about it. Meets
I'm a
tree
little
god.
worried about it.
Don't worry about it.
And
tree god's like, nah, you cool. And then she's like, yeah, I'm cool. That is very inorganic.
But did that character grow?
Yes.
Or character looking inward and going?
It's character growth. She was very depressed about a lot of things that happened. And then she wasn't no more. Because she accepted the fact that she is who she is. And that's fine. Because not only did a super secret special tree who's been around since the beginning of all time
tell her,
a goddess essentially, and her dead mama had to be like, yo, you cool. That is very inorganic.
Yes, that does sound it.
And then she beat up the big cat, and everybody clapped.
There's a big
because
cat.
Red Like Roses played. Yo.
I can see you really don't like.
Yo. It is the definition of this is not writing. This is This is story beats that just happen and just go. And then she got better. You know that
It's the
thing that she
Goku
gave up that we
T23.
didn't mention was so important to her that she gave up when they then mentioned it was important to her as she's giving it up? And she got that back now.
Well, what's that?
Hey, doesn't that mean that her giving it away just means nothing? Well, I guess. Is that even the same thing? I don't know. She had a little emblem of a rose.
Why?
Because it holds a mother's promise.
What was the promise?
Well, I don't know. Because they didn't say that. She just went, hey, you got to barter for this thing that you want. And she's like, a giant teapot.
You're clearly just making this up.
So she goes, giant teapot is just like...
You're clearly just making things up.
In order to get this thing to make your friends grow back bigger because they've shrunk, you need... The cat said that you need to get these things.
How long have you been working on this?
The cat said you need these things, and the teapot has this thing. And the teapot is... The system is bartering. So it's just like, what you got to barter? And she just goes, what do I got? Oh, this thing, this emblem holds the mother's promise. And the teapot's just like, sold!
Is this supposed to be
And
a
that's the
play
first time-
on Alice in Wonderland?
Yes. 100%. Well, kind of. Yes.
I mean, you got
but
the
yes.
big cat, you got the...
But yes.
and then-
No, it's a curious cat. You know what the name is? They just call it the curious cat. You know who's the girl? It's called the girl who fell through the world. You know what her name is? Alice. It's Alex. They spell it weird. They spell it like
This
A-L-X-Y. It's very fun. It's quirky. Hey, that's not a color. Shut up.
This definitely sounds like it's not storytelling.
Yes, it is inorganic storytelling. It is inorganic development. And that is the thing that I'm going to point to from now on as inorganic storytelling.
Okay. But this is clearly ineptitude. Any competent writer.
Competency is hard to quantify over long terms.
I
Because
can't
My Hero
agree with
was
that.
competent. But then it just wasn't. And then
I
it
think
becomes the least competent.
I think it's still competently told. It's just the story it's telling is horrible.
Is competent...
RWBY does not sound like it was competently told. And the story was horrible.
That's a whole nother issue.
You see how you gave, the worst possible example, and I'll just let you get off. But then every time I bring up some Phil don't
That's
count.
not fair.
Trigger don't
That's
count.
not fair. Because again, I'm just trying to bring up an example of inorganic storytelling.
And I be trying to bring up examples.
But you're talking about, nobody does this except for this guy. It's like, the worst guy?
Okay,
The
and you just told me
stupidest guy?
the most inorganic storytelling
No.
I have ever heard.
This is inorganic
To the
storytelling.
point
This
that
is
I
just
do not believe that this actually happened, at least as you told it. I believe there is some authorial liberties taken in your narrative construction of what happened in this RWBY story.
unreliable narrator. I just went, this has to be worse than I have to be. So she wasn't talking to a person. She was talking to a teapot. But it's an example of inorganic development, which is what you asked for. Is it the worst? Is it bad? It's just the thing that I can think of.
It's the only one I've ever heard of.
It's I'm sure there's others out there, but that's just the one that I can think of.
That's pure incompetence.
No, I completely understand. And it's a whole thing there. It's a whole thing there. It is.
Okay.
All the series' biggest strengths. Kohei Horikoshi has a knack for making bad people sympathetic and interesting without diminishing their faults, and he's also really...
I am a bad person, but I have a sad boy story.
But I'm a sad boy because I'm too good. That's why I'm bad. I'm bad because y'all told me I'm so good, and I believe my own hype.
How is this any different than Demon Slayer?
How is this any different from Vegeta? I'm the Prince of all Saiyans. And then he got pissed baby mad when he got punched with a Kaioken.
really good at portraying cheerful optimism, so it's really fun to see him transform a strong example of the one into maybe something resembling the other. Also, Bakugo's growth spurs the growth of Deku, and
Disgusting.
vice versa. So the strong writing in his arc ends up bleeding into the rest of the series and improving it as a whole. He also, crucially, plays with the same enjoyable shonen tropes that serve as the foundation of Hiroaka's success.
Like
So we're fine with the tropes now.
tropes
The
are,
subverted tropes were made it better, and the great
but the
tropes
actual
make it.
tropes are good too. You can do the tropes, and that's good, but you can also subvert the tropes, and that's also good.
Can't lose.
But I'll be talking about that in greater depth in a few weeks when I discuss what's so great about My Hero Academia, and
We did that video.
I don't remember it.
Remember?
No,
'Cause-
I just remember the whole, these guys are friends.
Dude,
and he
that's
showed,
the
like-
only part I was about to bring up, because I remember nothing else.
Is that the tender your resignation?
I don't know if that's the Tender Your Resignation video.
I feel like it is.
Tender Your Resignation.
Cause wasn't it something like he doesn't do a big dumb transformation and then he just showed a big dumb transformation or something like that. I need to rewatch that.
Triton would know.
Trying to know.
I bring my discussions of this show to a close until, I don't know, the next season comes out. Speaking of great,
So I can get that sweet algorithm
Sweet
again.
cash.
as today's sponsor, Bookwalker, Kadokawa's official light novel and manga ebook store, is prompting me to pay homage to our Lord
I've
and
never
Savior.
heard of this. This might be a scam. This sounds. This
ebook store?
This does not sound on the level.
There's a bunch of companies because of what Jump did, where they're coming out with the read our entire library for like $2, and there's one that is recent, and one of the stories I've been reading recently is done by them, and I'm like, I want to give you money just for this one story that I love so much.
I was like, I want to give the mangaka in Mirako-chan money, but and then I just went, hey, they got a fan box, and I throw them $1 a month.
There you go.
It goes straight to them. Yeah, it exists. It looks like it's more. I don't know if these are light novels or actual manga. Well, there's a Uzu-chan wants to hang out. So yeah, they do manga as well.
Okay.
They don't have like One Piece and.
Oh no! I'm not worried about that
like
stuff.
that.
Is it piecemeal where you have to buy each book, or is it a subscription based?
Buy each book.
Okay, so it's
Volume-
pure ebook.
Yeah.
I'd rather buy the physical manga.
Yeah, really. If you're gonna buy the manga for $7, you might as well have it.
I guess there are people that would rather read on the go, but I'd rather just have it for a collection and then.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a small subset of people who are just like, I want to read it on the go, but I also want to support the industry.
Okay, but then there's things with the subscription base where you can do
Yeah.
that. And it's a greater amount of things you can read while still supporting the industry.
And that's why I'm just like, I guess that's why I just haven't heard of this.
And, again, if it was, if I was just wanted to straight up support the industry, I'd just buy volumes because I love some stories. Dude, when I get a bookshelf, I am 1,000,000,000% buying like 3 stories in their entirety because I love them so much and they need them. I want them to have money.
Same here. I got my own little thing over there. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is gotta be, because they got Rent a Girlfriend Volume 19.
I don't care.
And that is $10. Is it 10 or 11? It is $10.20, odd number.
Okay.
But that's for digital, and you can get the same one paperback on Amazon for $13. So,
Rent a Girlfriend Volume 19, you said?
Volume 19, yes.
Let's see. $10.39 on Right Stuff.
Yep, same here. So, and Right Stuff is a lot more reputable. I've ordered from Right Stuff and have not had an issue.
There you go. How much is
Kondansa?
subscription based?
Subscription based.
That's the one. That's the new one that came out that has the series I love that I want to support.
Yeah, there's other things. You don't have to take every single advertisement that comes across your way, homie.
I mean, but this is something you can believe in, and you. Yo,
Sure, but it's such a
Love is Hard for an Otaku. The complete box set for $80.
Like I said, it is such a small set of people that's just going, yes, I want to support the industry. Mm-hmm. Yes, I want to go to this website that doesn't even have an app or anything.
I want to piecemeal my thing. You can't download them for offline reading?
I think you might be able to.
Because if that's the case, that's a deal breaker.
It's a website at that point.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, if they don't have an app, do they even allow downloads for offline viewing?
They have to.
If
I
there's
don't
no
see how they wouldn't.
If there's no app, how do you do that? You do a zip file?
Well, maybe he'll explain it.
Okay.
Your Haruhi-sama, who is celebrating her 15th anniversary this week. If you feel like praising Haruhi properly, I highly recommend picking up some ebooks this weekend and using the promo code BASEMENT when you check out for a 600 yen discount. By doing so, you won't just be paying fealty to the one true god, you'll also be getting some sick rewards. Buy any Haruhi light novel or manga, including The Disappearance of Nagata Yuki-chan and the gag manga Haruhi-chan before October 9th, and you'll be entered to win one of 5 digitally autographed Shikishi boards or one of 2 rare sets of sacred Haruhi idols in her preferred form, adorable Nendoroids. I honestly can't decide whether I like the Summer Festival Nendoroid Petite set or the Disappearance version.
He's not talking about the site.
I also would not take this particular promotion if I were him, but if I were in his shoes, because I do not know Haruhi. And I would not feel comfortable going, I love this set, when I don't know what I'm saying.
But he might.
Yes, he might.
Nendo set more. There's also special bookshelf skins and wallpapers up for grabs, so what are you waiting for? Get praising Haruhi today, and don't forget to use the promo code BASEMENT for a 600 yen discount when you check out. Let me know in the...
say what that website was?
No, I think he said at the beginning it was a digital storefront. Is this a Japanese only site? Because he kept saying yen.
This is 2018, so maybe they must have gone back to America. Not back to America, but they must have gone to America since then.
Okay, hold on. We were at like 47.
Of greatness, today's sponsor, Bookwalker, Kadokawa's official light novel and manga ebook store, is...
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Special bookshelf skins and wallpapers up for grabs, so what are you waiting for? Get praising Haruhi today, and don't forget to use the promo code BASEMENT for a 600 yen discount when you check out. Let me know in the comments below who your favorite character from My Hero Academia is, and while you're down
That has literally nothing to do with what your video said.
there, don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me every Tuesday and Saturday. I'm Jeff Thu, professional
videos
shitbag-
a week?
We do that.
But those are structured videos that he has to
but
write and edit.
Does he write his script?
We can't.
Does he have an
There's
editor?
no way that we could know.
If
He
you're
does have
saying-
an editor.
Okay,
He does
then,
factually
so
have an editor.
He doesn't need to edit. He may not need to write his scripts.
But we saw the burnout that Mark did.
Oh, dude. Mark is
He's a sad boy.
I don't know if I like punished Mark.
This arc
Disheveled.
this arc. I don't know about this arc.
I don't know if I enjoy Mark on the TikTok just like looking a little gray. And I don't mean his hair. I'm talking about like his skin tone is just like
leathery.
It's just like
This is like Sasuke joining the Akatsuki. Like, no, Sasuke, you gotta help the leaf, not destroy. This is the wrong arc. It's like, no, he's going down that path.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no. The slow deconstruction of Mark it's gonna lead to something, and I can't wait to see what that is. Either he's gonna blow up on his just like, you people want this, or I'll give you nothing but this.
He's gonna blow up on Twitter,
or just like, why ain't you cucks watching my? You taking food from my daughter?
Yeah, something.
Y'all asked for this.
Within the next 2 years, something he might become like the anime DSP. Where it's like, you guys asked for this, so I don't know why no one's supporting.
Demon Slayer, okay? The first video got 400K, and then it dipped down to 200. What's going on, y'all? So all of a sudden, y'all don't want it anymore? You have to watch it in order for me to produce this. I can move on to something else. Oh,
there's a million other things I could do that I enjoy doing, but you guys wanted this.
This Punish Mark arc is leading to something. This is the Zoe arc where you just go, it ain't the most action-packed arc, but in the future you go back, oh,
the signs were always there.
Like signing out from my mother's basement.
Yeah, Patreons don't get anything. Yeah. Whoever's name is on there, congrats. You're in 2 videos now. Rainbow Jello.
I was looking at, quite simply, William.
Hey, you get in, you get out. Yeah, that's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Mark, Mother's Basement is something else. He's something else.
He's what we see Mark as. But he is out front about it. So everybody can see what he is.
To naked to the whole world. It's like, here it is. I'm talking about anime.
Yes.
And the anime I'm talking about is the anime that I'm talking about.
I am indeed trash. I do indeed suck.
What of it? What else are you here for?
A Patreon. Cucks. Yeah. Hopefully
it'll be another 6 or 7 months before this bastard again.
Does he even put out 2 videos a week at this point? Because I know he's expressed times where he's taking breaks because of, hey, burnout.
2 days ago, 3 weeks ago, 1 month, 1 month, 1 month, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2
months.
Doesn't
sound like twice a week.
Yeah, it sounds like once a week, if that.
Once every 9 to 10 days. How do people not understand that the constant push for content is just going to lead to burnout?
When they see money coming in, it's just like, well, just got to keep down this path.
Hey. I mean, yeah, once you make it your job, just don't make these things your job.
That's what it is.
Unless you're a live stream, IRL content creator type of person where you can just flip on the camera for 12 hours a day and just be yourself and make money off of it. Or even just a slightly hyper-realized version of yourself. Don't, because you're putting in, I mean, to watch these things, read these things, write the notes down, record them, and then send them off to an editor or whatever. You're spending 30 to 50 hours a week on something you should love, but may no longer.
But that's why the quality dips. So he can just go, Naruto and Bakugo, look at him, silver hair, your blonde hair, spiky, whatever. Quality, you don't get as much as you can if it's longer and just going, have I explained myself enough here? Is this a fleshed out enough thing? Or am I just saying, unlike this thing, moving on?
Why can't more people take like a Sean H. Bomber guy approach of, The video will be out when it's out. And come watch it.
Because it's people like H-Bomber. He's not done a bad video. So his quality speaks for itself. So it's an event when he puts out a video. You just go, I guess I'm learning about the oof.
Something I legitimately don't give two shits about. But what a video.
So stuff like that.
But that's what I mean. Like, remember he was talking about an anime he wished more people watched. Why wouldn't he take the time to express why that anime is so great?
Because less people are willing to watch it because they're not watching it for him. They're watching it for whatever he's talking about.
Piping hot helping of, you were right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and stuff like H-Bomber guy, I watch him talk about anything.
But that's what I mean. Why can't people be more of I'm going to get into this to express the opinion I want when I want to, as opposed to the content is the thing. The quantity of the content is why people will keep coming back to
I feel like it would be better served for somebody like a Mother's Basement if he had a second channel where he just did like a podcast and talked about something like that. But main channel stuff, it hurts his bottom line. He gets pushed out of the algorithm if a video doesn't perform well. So you guys got to keep on, according to Mark.
So if you have...
But that's punished, Mark.
If you do 400K views every video, and then one video does 80K, the next video you put out is out of the algorithm? That doesn't even make sense.
Who knows? It's a mystery wrapped up in an enigma.
That sounds like a flawed understanding of how the YouTube algorithm works. And of course people don't understand how the algorithm works, or they'd game the algorithm.
But you just work to it the best way that you can think that it would work. Because you go...
Okay, but has Mark put out a video that has, let's just say, 120K views less than the next video? If that's the case, he didn't get pushed out of the algorithm. Like, when all those videos got taken down, he should have been pushed out of the algorithm.
But I think Mark is more on the lines of they're there for him. I think Mother's Basement is more they're there for the content. Mark is more of a person than... Because Mother's Basement feels like conveyor belt, corporate, whatever.
Like those sushi places in Japan where it's just...
Yeah.
Yes, I want that.
One. Because at least with Mark, it just goes, in my opinion, this is good. That's like, okay, this is Mark speaking. Who's speaking here? Is the in my opinion just implied? But you know that the YouTube audience, Joe Blow and Jake Gamer Josh's need to hear that, in my opinion, just to be like, oh, so this is your opinion. So this is the person that's talking about Hunter x Hunter, not just the person talking about an objective Hunter x Hunter critique.
I saw a comment recently that went, I'm trying to be as objective as possible.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. And I just went, you either are or you're not objective.
As possible.
You don't skew objective.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
3 out of 10 objective, that comment. Be more objective. We got Phil stuff that is this coming out today or next week?
Of course it's not coming out today.
It could have come out next week. Okay, so boy, that Phil stream was great. That Phil stream was kind of trash. Edit as needed.
Act like I won't.
But then this wouldn't make sense.
Which part?
This now, talking.
Why would this part be part of it?
Oh, man. Yeah, we need to figure out a more structured schedule.
I mean, we're still going to do either Tuesdays or Wednesdays. We can just do it Tuesdays from now on. Because then I can watch my AEW on Wednesdays.
What nerd stuff.
And Tuesdays are open. So we can pick whatever when I get here on Mondays. We can do it on Tuesdays. And then on Wednesdays, I can watch some shit.
There we go. Hopefully we can stick to that because we are trash.
We suck, you could say?
I wouldn't say that. I would explain it a little bit more.
I see. We woo.
We will. What?
We've just broken a wee woo because, dude, I can't tell you how many times I've listened to that thing.
It's the delay. Because I remember I was just looking down.
Yes,
and I barely listened. What? And I just...
There is like a 1.5 second delay before any noise is made from you. And then it's just for like 2 straight minutes laughter.
What?
It is one of the
All
greatest.
of the hardest laughs come absent of anything that we say. The trigger thing, the DSP thing. It's okay to... It's just, this thing is hilarious. We're not saying anything
We're
funny.
not hilarious.
We're just the catalyst for the hilarity. You're just...
And this what happens with React stream.
Yes.
Where we're just the curators of the hilarity for you to consume. Cause DSP muffin dropping, I can't tell you how many times I watched that.
Oh,
Look at all of this food. Oh shit.
it just tumbles.
It slowly unsticks. And then it just starts. Oh shit. The it's okay to be confused. The what? What? What's a fucking planet saying? What?
It's the best.
It's so fucking good.
Oh, that's a wee woo. We out of here.
Yeah, this is
dab
true
into
wee
the
woo.
sunset. I will just sit there and laugh until I cry. Just listening to that. What? He just tried so he put stank on that.
He became a voice actor for a word. What?
And then just see in the chat, it's just like WHHET.
HWAAT.
Oh man, that was fantastic. Goku T23 is something else.
He is the greatest.
He is so. That is
There will
somebody.
always be content from him.
I would like to interview him. Nobody else. Just to be like,
Just to pick the
Galaxy
brain of...
Instinct Goku, go. Where did that come from? What's your right? I would love to ask him what's his writing process. How does he come about that? What does he do?
What is your naming convention for these
the
things?
naming conventions? How do you pick which characters are going to be in what positions? Who does your editing for the colors? And
Where
stuff?
do you get these amalgamation characters like Hero Lick and Baby combined?
Yes. I would love to interview him. Just completely straight-faced. Just,
Hey, why?
what was going on? Yeah, I've been writing since I was a little kid. What? That's like the only thing that I would just throw in little things like
References? I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. It's okay to be confused.
I'm a little confused on that one, but it's okay to be confused. Let's move.
Just snide references.
Then he just doesn't understand because he just pumps this out and he just moves on. He's not gonna understand the hilarity that he said that what in.
No!
Because it's just a thing that he did and he
Is it
moved on.
even funny, really? Or do we just find it unbelievably funny? What?
It's. I hate that he's linked to our channel now. Same with Salad saying both of them.
Dude, it's about to be a takeover.
It's the worst.
Within the year, viewer request month
Viewer
will be
request month is
nothing
gonna
but
be a
what if.
mess.
We
It's
should
gonna
just
be-
ban all what
We
ifs.
gotta
from
just
viewers.
like one what if.
One
and
what if.
then it should just be the what if a voting list, and then we get the other 5 or 6 videos just to
Yes.
get that out the way, just so they don't be like, okay, I can't. No, we need to figure this out because it's coming.
Yeah. Oh no. The nominations alone, even if we limit it to 3 videos per person, there will be 3 people that have at least 2 what ifs probably.
But how do you? It's gonna be Goku P23, and we're gonna be sitting there watching.
No, it's gonna be Last of Us 21.
The Last of Us 21. That's what I meant. It's gonna be that bastard, and we're gonna be sitting here suffering through it.
It's gonna be a stream. It's gonna be webcam, and they're just gonna see us die.
Your request month is in shambles.
Already! It was such a mistake to give them any power.
Indeed.
They have too much power!
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's truly what it is. Y'all have too much power. We need to start taking it away.
We're way too nice.
Tree Woo.
Yeah, this is like the 3rd or 4th wee woo. And then you click the button, and then we are out.
What?
What?